Hello everyone, this is Mickey Baines with Fourth Dimension Partners. Today, I'm going to talk very briefly about Stonehenge, I know, and how it connects to our world in higher education. And I know that Stonehenge is a far cry from the work that we do every day, but I stumbled across an article this morning about the potential answer to one of the questions we've had for hundreds of years about Stonehenge. And it helped me think of something I get asked a lot about, one of those unresolved questions that schools have all the time in higher education. But the question they answered, or have potentially answered at Stonehenge is, of all the stones that are standing in the circle and those that are lying down, were they all once upright? Or have some of them always been lying down because the work was unfinished? And the answer, they believe now, is that they were once upright, but over time they fell down. Over the years, there have been many archaeologists and other researchers and historians up there trying to understand what really happened there at Stonehenge. But it's not any of those experts that answered the question. It was a groundskeeper. Stonehenge, the area there is coming off a drought, lack of rain, and so the groundskeeper's been watering the grass, trying to keep it green for all the folks coming in to visit. And what he found was there's some brown patches where some of the researchers have been trying to look at ground impression and compression of the earth and to see if there's some type of indentation there where maybe stone once stood. And while they have had inconclusive tests all along, groundskeeper happened to notice, hey, the grass right here at that particular patch is brown. Why is this brown and it's not brown over here? That might be an answer. So he called up the researchers, told them what they thought, and they rushed out there and they've been doing research since. So not an expert giving the answer, a groundskeeper. How does this connect to higher ed? I get asked by vice presidents and deans a lot about how we can find a better way to measure the ROI of all the marketing efforts we're putting out. Whether that's through an online ad campaign or through a radio spot we're running. How do we know how effective it is? And there's a request to put in all this extra effort and time and energy and resources into tracking how effective those dollars are we spend. However, if we took that same amount of time, those same amount of dollars, those same amount of resources and looked at something else, we can get a better return on our investment every time. Why? Because marketing only helps you understand a portion of your lead generation efforts. Realistically, marketing should be providing less than a third of your lead generation efforts. That means less than a third of your prospective students that come in to your inquiry pool should be coming from your marketing and advertising channels. The rest should come from things like word of mouth or alumni enrolling in a grad program, those types of things. So if we took our time and looked at how we engage and communicate with our prospective students, all of whom come through all the different sources and all the different channels that you have out there, and see how we convert them, you might get a better return. I can tell you from the Secret Shopper study that I do every year that there's a vast difference in the amount of touch points a school will use when they're trying to recruit a student. Whether that's looking at the number of emails, the number of phone calls, the pieces of direct mail that go out, there's a vast difference between the schools who tell me they're doing well and those who are telling me they're doing poorly. And if we just took a little more time to look at that, rather than trying to track where this URL came from or how many leads clicked on this ad and what type of content we have in this landing page and how many of those people converted to a student. If we took all of that time and energy and put it into how well are we really recruiting the prospects that come in the door, and how well are we using our content, our time and attention we get from those prospects to give them what they need so that they want to enroll with us. If you took that time and energy and put it in that, you would find a much better return on your investment. And you might find that the enrollment problems you're facing, the answer is much easier to find. It's right there in front of you all along. We've just been looking and trying to use other tools to solve the answer, and it's the answer to the wrong question. And at the end of the day, it might just be the groundskeeper who has the answer, not the archaeologist. It might be your recruitment team that knows better than the vice president, even if you have thousands and thousands of points of data to look at. Until next time, this is Mickey Baines with Fourth Dimension Partners. Happy recruiting.